Name a Chinese car company. Out loud, right now. Almost everyone says the same one. BYD. And then there is a pause, because that is the whole list. That pause is the video. BYD is one of the 6 Chinese companies sitting in the global top 10 for electric cars. Leapmotor ended May 2026 as the world's 4th biggest electric vehicle brand, ahead of BMW and Volkswagen. Jetour shipped 622,590 cars in 1 year. China put 650 new or updated models on the market in 6 months. By the end of this video, you will be able to name all 6, and you will know why nobody told you. Making these videos takes a lot of time, so if you're finding this interesting, hit subscribe, because the names only get less familiar from here. Start with the part that is not your fault, why nobody told you. You learn car brands the way you learn faces. You see them on the way to work, on the forecourt at the end of your road, in the ad break, in the used listings. A company that sells nothing where you live is not a brand to you. It is a rumor. In the United States, it is not even a rumor. A Chinese-built car arriving there picks up 100% under Section 301 and another 25% under Section 232, so the duty stack sits at about 125%. Set that against the American average new car transaction price of $49,758 in June 2026, and it stops being a tax. That is a wall. Europe, Australia, Brazil, Thailand, and South Africa all get the cars. Even in those markets, most of these badges arrived in the last 3 or 4 years, which is nowhere near enough time for a name to stick to a road. So the ranking moved and the names never reached your street. Start with the one that just walked past BMW, the company that passed BMW. Leapmotor has been selling cars since 2019. In 2025, it delivered 596,555 vehicles, up 103% in 12 months, on revenue of 64.72 billion yuan. Then it did the thing almost nobody in this industry manages. It made money. Leapmotor posted a net profit of 538 million yuan for 2025, about $78 million, the first annual profit in its history. Spread across the cars it sold, that works out at roughly 900 yuan per vehicle, about $125, one tank of fuel. In May 2026, Leapmotor registered more than 81,000 vehicles worldwide and ended the month as the 4th biggest electric vehicle brand on the planet, fewer than 9,000 units behind Geely. Measured across the year so far, it has now passed both BMW and Volkswagen. In June, it delivered 93,376 worldwide, a company record, and took 7.2% of China's new energy retail market, third behind BYD and Geely. Tesla's China operation took 5.3% that same month and finished 5th, and Leapmotor is not some isolated startup. Stellantis, the group behind Jeep, Peugeot, and Fiat, bought 20% of it in late 2023 for 1.5 billion euros and holds 51% of the joint venture that sells Leapmotors everywhere outside China. The company you could not name is part owned by the company that built your Jeep. That one is still climbing. The next one is already at the top, and its bestseller costs under $10,000. The best-selling car in China, and you cannot name it. Geely's Xingyuan went on sale on 9 October 2024 at 69,800 yen, about $10,310. In May 2026, Geely refreshed it and cut the starting price to 61,800 yuan. The Xingyuan was the best-selling vehicle of any kind in China across the whole of 2025, and again across the first half of 2026. Not the best-selling electric car, the best-selling car. In under 2 years, it has passed 800,000 units. For scale, Volvo sold 710,042 cars worldwide in 2025 across its entire range in every market it operates in. One Geely hatchback that most of the West has never laid eyes on is running in that same territory on its own, and there is a detail underneath that which changes the shape of the whole story. Geely Holding bought Volvo cars outright from Ford in August 2010 for $1.8 billion, and it is still Volvo's parent company today. The Swedish brand you trust and the Chinese brand you could not name have had the same owner for 16 years. Geely as a group finished April 2026 second in the world for plug-in vehicles on 8.9%, then took 10.1% in May. Second, behind BYD, ahead of Tesla. The next name on the list is one you already know. You have just been filing it under the wrong country. The badge you already know is Chinese. MG is a British name. The octagon on the grille, the little sports cars, the factory at Abingdon. SAIC Motor owns the global rights to that trademark outright and has done since 2007, and SAIC is a state-owned company controlled by the Shanghai municipal government. MG sold more than 300,000 vehicles across the European Union and the United Kingdom in 2025, up nearly 30% in a year. In February 2026, it became the first Chinese-owned brand to pass 1 million vehicles sold across Europe and the UK. SAIC, as a group, finished April 2026 fifth in the world on 5.2%, then climbed to 6.6% in May. In April, that put it ahead of Chery, ahead of Stellantis, ahead of Toyota. Then there is Jetour, which belongs to Chery and which sold 622,590 vehicles in 2025 across more than 100 markets. Volvo, the entire brand, sold 710,042 that year. Most Western buyers have never seen the word Jetour written down. That is 3 of the 6, plus the one arriving behind them. Here are all 10, the top 10. In April 2026, the 10 biggest sellers of plug-in vehicles on Earth were, in order, BYD on 17.8%, Geely on 8.9%, Tesla on 8%, Volkswagen Group on 7.6%, SAIC on 5.2%, Chery on 4.3%, Li Auto on 4.1%, Changan on 3.9%, Stellantis on 3.1%, Toyota on 2.8%. Count the Chinese companies in that list. BYD, Geely, SAIC, Chery, Li Auto, Changan. That is 6 of the 10. Add their shares together and you get 44.2% of the global market. The 4 non-Chinese companies on the same list, Tesla, Volkswagen, Stellantis, and Toyota, come to 21.5% between them. 6 names beat 4 by more than 2 to 1. You could name one of the 6. And the list is still moving. In May, BYD went to 19%, Geely to 10.1%, and Tesla held third on 8.1%. Leapmotor, which is not on that April top 10 anywhere, ended May as the 4th biggest electric vehicle brand in the world. Across the first 5 months of 2026, 11 of the 20 best-selling electric vehicle brands on Earth were Chinese. Now the part that cuts the other way. Name recognition is not nothing. Name recognition is warranty confidence, a dealer you can actually drive to, parts sitting on a shelf, and a resale value somebody will quote you in writing. Outside China, these companies are thin on all 4 of those, and pretending otherwise would be dishonest. NEDA is what it looks like when that gap opens up. More than 25,000 NEDA owners in Thailand were left exposed after the parent company went into bankruptcy proceedings in June 25, 2025. Showrooms fell from 60 to 40, waits on repairs and insurance claims stretched to 10 months, which is longer than it takes to build the car in the first place. The V2 hatchback ended up discounted to close to half its list price, and owners were left choosing between no authorized service and voiding their warranty at an independent garage. More than 400 Chinese electric vehicle companies have already stopped operating since 2018, and Alex Partners, in the Global Automotive Outlook it published on June 25, 2026, projects roughly 15 commercially viable Chinese brands surviving to 2030 out of 129 today. So, say it plainly, several of the names in this video will not be here in 2030. Nobody can tell you which ones yet. The point is not that you failed a quiz. The point is that the top of a global industry changed hands while the names stayed off your street. Why the names keep coming. In the first half of 2026, China put roughly 650 new or updated vehicles on the market. About 30 of those every month are genuinely new models, with no previous entry in the National Vehicle Database. That is close to 4 new cars a day. Bank of America's Car Wars study projects 159 new vehicle launches in the United States across the next 4 years. So China ships in a single month roughly what the American industry ships in a year. A Ford or a Volkswagen model generation runs 6 or 7 years before anyone replaces it. What is running out of Shenzhen and Hangzhou and Shanghai is a phone release schedule pointed at cars. That is the real answer to why you cannot keep up. The names are being produced faster than any market outside China can learn them. And every one of these is a story on its own. The profit of $125 a car, the British badge on a Shanghai payroll, the hatchback that outsells everything in the biggest car market on earth. We are going to take them one at a time, starting with the ones you had never heard of 10 minutes ago. How many of these had you heard of before this video? Be honest. Drop the number.